first cars, Nick and I brought pre-2000 models, so as you can expect, there's going to be a few things wrong with them.
So we're going to show you a couple of simple things to prevent your car from breaking down. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to show you the fluid side of taking care of your car. So first, we're going to look at the coolant, steering fluid, and of course, your oil down there. So first, we'll have a look at the coolant. Your coolant reservoir is often near the top of the car, and you have to be able to find this easily. On each of your reservoirs for liquids in your car, you'll see a max and a min. So obviously, you know, you can see mine is down at the minimum, needs a top up. With coolant, it's really important to check what sort of coolant your car takes. I know mine comes in a green variety, it's super cheap, that sort of thing. I know it comes in reds as well, so really important that you check your manual to make sure you're getting it right. So just to fill it up, it's pretty simple. When you're filling up your coolant, and when you're mixing your coolant rather, make sure you read the back of the bottle because it'll say how many parts per litre you need to fill it up with. So mine is essentially 10 mils per litre. So what I've done, you get an old soft drink bottle, mark a 1 litre around with a permanent marker, fill your 10 mil up of coolant and then the rest with water. When you're filling it up with water, it's really important that it's pure water. So tank water works, filtered water works. It's just to get rid of all the chemicals that you get, you know, with your normal council water, and it helps the cooling system. So when we undo the reservoir, you'll see it rise a little bit. That's just because the car is hot and that's just the pressure being released. Probably should be doing it when the car's cold. However, you know, with my car being how unreliable it is, it's okay to do it hot if you're on the side of the road, like I've done twice now. So, really quite easy. Make sure you don't spill any. Fill it up to the max. When you're filling up your coolant, try to put it on a stable, flat sort of ground because, you know, it'll just screw with your levels easy enough. Putting the cap back on, if you listen, there should be a click, like that. Just make sure the pressure's sealed inside the reservoir. Same basic principle for your steering fluid. You'll notice that the steering becomes really rigid if the steering fluid's low. Now mine's probably at the minimum there. I don't actually have the steering fluid with me, but once again, make sure you check your manual to see which fluid you need. It even says on the top to check your manual on the cap. Okay, if we come over here to the engine block, we're going to do the oil. Now, you'll normally have your oil reservoir on the top of the engine block there, you can see it. Really important when you're filling your car up with oil to not only use a funnel because you don't want to, you know, spraying everywhere and catching stuff on fire, that's not fun. You also want to do it really slowly, pouring your oil in through the funnel really slowly. Really hard to measure how much oil is in the car without checking the tester. Absolute. We'll just wait for him to go past.
Yep. Will we keep this in shot?
Just keep it in shot. BMW doing. Alright, so when you're doing your oil, as I was saying, really important to do it slowly because otherwise you'll flood your engine with oil. To happen, if you overfill it just the slightest bit, you'll see black smoke come out the tail, come out your exhaust when you start it up, but still probably not the best thing. So to test your oil, you take out your tester, wipe it once with an old dirty rag, put it back in, and then take it out again. And if we just bring it out here, you'll be able to see the little notches on the oil there, on the oil tester. So mine has enough oil, however it looks like it's a bit dirty, so it could obviously use a change. So then you just wipe it again with your rag, and put it back in the tester. Simple as that. So those 3 things with regard to checking your levels of your fluids in your car can really save you in the long run. If an engine gets too low on oil, obviously not good. Equally with the coolant, you overheat and it can lead to a very expensive service. So those 3 things are pretty important to make sure your car doesn't break down. So another really important aspect of checking your car is checking your things that you're running on, the tyres. So to check your tyre, really quite simple. Each tyre will have this little bung here. Just undo it and make sure you don't lose it. Put it down somewhere where you'll be able to find it. And then use a tyre pressure monitor. Now, these things, really cheap. You can buy ones that look like a little bit like a metallic pen, round about, you know, 10-15 bucks from Super Cheap. This is a little bit upmarket. It's an electronic one where it reads the PSI on the screen there. So basically what you do, got it turned on and you place the little knob over the end there to get a reading. So mine's 22. Now that is quite low and I suspect this one has a bit of a leak. It's been leaking for a while. Tyres normally, when you buy your car from a dealer, the tyres will normally be let down the slightest bit. That's because a dealer wants you to buy their car, so they'll let down the tyres, and letting down the tyres often gives you a smoother ride. So, you know, when you go and test the car, obviously it'll feel nicer to drive. However, not so good on the tyres, it degrades them a bit. When you're filling up your tyres, make sure you check on the rim of the tyre. Like if you have a look down there, there's all this writing. It's not there just for the fun of it. The manufacturers aren't just going to put it there because they hate you. Make sure you check it because that'll tell you the max PSI that the tyre can take. Yeah, my tyres can take a maximum of 42 PSI, which you'd be insane to put that in. So what I do, I normally fill them up between 34 and 36 PSI. That's the guy we bought it off said that was probably a reasonable amount, so that's what I do. Now these are air-based tyres, you put compressed air into them. However, Chris's car has nitrogen in his tyres, which is a little bit more expensive, but it lasts longer. Let's go and have a look.
So Chris, where is your battery?
I don't know.
Just doing this.
I'll find Chris's battery.
Yes, I know.
Use more expensive.